YouTube, what's going on? Big Dirty back again with another video reaction for you, and this clip is from Segura. This one's titled The First 48, and I believe this one comes as a request from Michelle. So Michelle, if you're watching, this one's for you. And I just wanted to say thanks again to everybody. The continued support has been amazing. We're past 1,000 subscribers now, so really keeping the train rolling here. As always, before we get into this video, if you're new to the channel or if you've been enjoying the content that's been going out, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Click that bell so you're notified when new videos get posted. And at the end of the video, if you enjoy it, drop a like down below. Get engaged in the comments. Let's get on into it.
People come up to me and they're like, hey, you travel a lot, right? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, where should I go? I don't fucking know you, man. You ask travel advice to people who know you intimately. They know you well. They can guide you based on what they know about you. I mean, you don't ask strangers dining advice, right? Because you're like, hey, well, where should I eat tonight? I know I've never met you before in my life, but do you think you could give me a recommendation? Yeah, you should try this dim sum place. But then that person might go, oh, I hate the Asian world. And you're like, oh shit, I didn't know that about you. Like, yeah, I killed like 4 of them. Like, what are you, like a serial killer or something? Yeah.
I never thought about it that way, but that is a strange question to ask a random That is a strange question to ask a random person, somebody you don't know too well. You know, like to say if you met a comedian at a show and you randomly ask him, so where should I go? You know, the places he finds enjoyable, I might hate. I mean, so yeah, that is an odd concept to ask somebody.
Yeah, I killed like 4 of them. Like, what are you, like a serial killer or something? Yeah. Now you're in an awkward conversation with a serial killer. I can tell you where not to go. Wherever they film The First 48 on A&E. Oh, if you're not familiar with the show, here's what it is.
Love that show, by the way.
Camera crews follow real homicide detectives for the first 48 hours after a murder. And the reason that that time distinction is so important is that after 48 hours, they give up on that murder. They're like, that's some old shit. What do you want to do today? You're like, how about you keep trying to solve that murder, man? That shit happened on Monday. It's Wednesday. We're not going to solve that shit.
That's freaking fun. That's a funny way to look at it. The reason they say in that show that you had the first 48 is because if you don't have, typically within the first 48 hours is your best chance to catch the murderer or your suspect, whatever the case may be. After that, usually too much time has passed, evidence starts to disappear or they, get away. So that's why they try and act within the first 48 hours. That's what they say on the show. But it does seem like they just kind of, quote unquote, give up on it. But not all the time, because there's some episodes that have 3 months later they catch the guy in another state or something like that. But yeah.
What do you do today? You're like, how about you keep trying to solve that murder, man? That shit happened on Monday. It's Wednesday. We're not going to solve that shit. Really? What'd he look like? He was like 5'2" to 6'8", something like that. And you're like,
5'2",
that's the
6'8".
fucking description you're going to give us? Uh-huh. Anything else about him? Yeah, he had ears, too. Thanks, man. No problem. They still will sketch that shit out. And they show it to people. Do you know this guy? And everyone's like, nah. And then one guy will be like, yeah! That's Cricket right there! You're like, oh shit.
He said, oh shit.
You know him? I've been knowing Cricket 27 years!
That voice is killer. Oh my goodness. He brought up a good point though. When he said he always thought murders happened in inconspicuous spots or dark alleys. That might have been how it used to be, maybe, who knows, 20 years ago. I feel like, as time goes on, murder just happens more frequently at any time of day now. I could be wrong. I'm not a crime statistics expert. But You know what I mean? Usually when you think murder, you don't want to get caught, so you wouldn't do it in broad daylight. But you know, nowadays it's wild out there.
One guy will be like, yeah, that's Cricket right there. You're like, oh shit. You know him? I've been knowing Cricket 27 years. What's his real name? Man, that's just Cricket. I don't even know. Stop being white and weird. That's a perfect fucking impression, and you know exactly who that was, okay?
True.
Yeah, it's a black guy, and he's wearing a wife beater, and he's got on a dirty hat, and he's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He looks like he's about 33, but you find out he's 76 years old. And he speaks super aggressively to the cops. I've been out here for a minute! And they're like, all right, Jesus Christ. When was the last time you saw him? He came through with jellyfish last week. They were looking for some smoke. And they're like, all right.
I've been out here for a minute. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, it's like there's usually always that one dude that kind of belongs to the streets. You know, like he may be like well known around a neighborhood or whatever, but he's always the dude you think is drugged out because he just yaps and has this story to tell. Usually the one to talk to the police, but that does sound like somebody you'd see on that show.
When was the last time you saw him? He came through with jellyfish last week. They were looking for some smoke. And they're like, all right, Jesus Christ. They always cut to the whitest detective from that guy, too. They cut from that guy to the guy who's like, I don't think he's going to help us out. We're going to have to find Cricket on our own. That show has the best moment in television. It's the most dramatic thing you could ever see, because it's real life, and that is the interrogation. The interrogation is amazing, because here's the thing about drama. If you want to have a great, dramatic moment, raise the stakes. Guess what? There's no higher stakes than somebody being questioned about taking somebody else's life. It's inherently compelling television. It is also super serious. But the detectives insist on using the suspect's street name, so the whole thing turns into a fucking cartoon. Like,
he's 100% right. You see that detectives, they'll pull up whatever their name is, but the street name will be like, I don't even know. He's 100% right though, because some of these detectives, just because, you know, they're professional, they just read what's off of there. So, like, if it were my name, for example, if my street name were Big Dirty, they would be like, we gotta find Big Dirty right now. It just sounds so funny hearing an older generation that's like, you know, that speaks real professional say all these street names. It is funny to hear.
Also super serious. But the detectives insist on using the suspect's street name, so the whole thing turns into a fucking cartoon. Like, they're literally like, your life is on the line. We need to talk to you. Why don't you have a seat? Little Stank, why don't you sit down for a second?
Little Stank.
Did you or did you not know Dookie shoes? I don't know no Dookie shoes. I got a picture of you hanging out with Dookie shoes. I mean, I seen them. I don't know. And then they'll throw one bit of evidence against the wall, hoping it'll solve the case. They'll be like, well, we were talking to Namin, and he said that you were at the 7-Eleven last week. And he'll be like, yeah, I shot him in the face. And you're like, God damn, really? That's all it took to break you? Dude, lie. Lie for longer. You can kill somebody, you can't lie for 10 fucking minutes about it?
Damn.
Like, dudes will break on anything. They'll be like, we heard you had on a blue shirt last Friday. Yeah, I stabbed those 4 people. Dude, a lot of people have blue shirts, man. You can still get out of this. Here's what I've learned watching that show, okay? Lawyer up. You can't handle that shit. Everybody's like, I'm gonna talk to the cops and straighten this whole thing out. You're gonna do 25 to life. Have fun with that, man.
True about the... See, in the episodes I've seen, I haven't seen anybody break on simple evidence like that. You know, maybe that's just part of his act. But also true, everybody that's like, yeah, I'm going to go clear my name down to the police, set everything straight. They're usually the ones that had something to do with it or know the person that did it, and they end up going down. They end up screwing themselves.
Up. You can't handle that shit. Everybody's like, I'm going to talk to the cops and straighten this whole thing out. You're going to do 25 to life. Have fun with that, man.
See you later.
Nobody asked for a lawyer. I've seen 300 people get interrogated on this show. 2 of them were like, can I talk to a lawyer? And both times the detectives were like, fuck! And then at the end of those episodes, it said on the screen, all charges against Tayshawn were dropped. Or Jim, pick a fucking name. Let's be honest, there's no Jims on the show. I've seen every episode, and none start with, hey, Bryce, can we talk to you for a second, man? Where were you last Friday? I was over at Tanner's house. Then Skylar had a party, so we went over there.
Real funny. But yeah, if nobody's ever seen that show, that's a pretty close representation of what that show is about. Not everybody gets away with it that, ask for a lawyer. And like you said, but it's funny, almost nobody asks for a lawyer. It's crazy. Everybody wants to talk to the police and give them an elaborate story, and they end up screwing themselves. But that's the way it goes. But guys, that is going to draw to a close for this video. Let me know what you thought down in the comment section below. Let me know if you like Tom Segura. Have you seen this special before? And as always, drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel and turn notifications on by clicking that bell. I'll see you guys later.